So the woman I did my case study on in my report is a woman by the name of Jill Price. She's shown in the picture on the title screen, sitting on all the books. She's known as a woman who can't forget. She was diagnosed with a disorder called hyperthymesia, meaning that she's completely able to remember anything she's ever heard, said, done, experienced, anything. She can remember everything down to a small TV show, the weather that was had at that certain day 20 years ago. Many people may think this is such a good thing, being able to memorize everything that you've ever done, not have any problems, but sadly they're mistaken. She also experiences all of the bad things of remembering, recalling every bad thing she's done, again experienced, emotions she's felt, and feelings she's had as if she was still in the moment, feeling it down to her bones. Her road to the diagnosis began on June 5th, 2000, when she happened upon a webpage for a neuroscientist at the University of Irvine named James McCaw. So she decided to send him an email. Within 90 minutes, he emailed her back and decided to meet with her. After some initial skepticism most people would have, he was convinced that she had something very special. Soon thereafter, he introduced her to two of his colleagues, Larry Cahill and Elizabeth Parker, who unfortunately kept it a secret until 2006 due to their own testing and diagnosis, but then finally released it to the press and all the people of the world. As of November 2013, 25 cases of hyperthymesia have been reported, which isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things, but Jill Price was the first and arguably the most profound. They all have this uncanny ability to recall the past. Unfortunately, this disorder is so new and unexplainable, there isn't much information about it. But now that there's 25 cases of it out there in the open, there's no more skepticism to the disorder. It's an actual condition. All of these studies have added support and evidence to the same symptoms each patient has been seeing. Testing is a very hard thing that they try to do since, like I said, it was such a new disorder. You may be curious as to how they really tested these people. The first way they tested these people, especially Jill Price in question, was they had to recall very old movies, songs, things that they know that she's experienced, and had to recall it. And she was able to do that, what day it aired, and even what was going on in her day when that was happening. After the initial testing and finding out that she wasn't a fraud, they did a brain scan on her, and it showed that part of the section of her brain associated with OCD was firing. So that's why doctors use that to somewhat try to explain what's going on. It's as if the part of her brain is compensating for that super firing of OCD by storing all that information and never letting it go. It's her brain's ability to adjust to the overactive part of her brain. But instead of focusing on just the negatives, let's focus on some of the positives. Some good outcomes for Jill Price's disorder is that she can remember all the good times. She can relive the glory days, days in the sun, best days that she's ever had in her life. And these disorders aren't just good for them and sometimes, but they're good for the whole world. It is said that we have over 750 trillion synapses of memory in our brain. And she's able to access all of them when most of us can't access most of them. This may be able to help us understand IQ levels, memory recall, even maybe someday figure out Alzheimer's disease. Now, there's no actual treatments for the disorder, although they try drugs. But one thing for Jill in specific seemed to help a lot, and it was love. She met a man online, she fell in love, and was married for 2 years before he passed away and she became a widower, which is very unfortunate for her. I apologize. But the time he was alive, she expressed as being some of her best times. Her friends and family all agreed. She wasn't focused on the past, she laughed much more, and her ability to have fun and focus on the present was much greater. She just was able to live in the moment and experience what she experienced and wasn't always so focused on all the negatives of the past that she carries around with her like baggage every day. Although there are some weaknesses of this case, as said, some weaknesses of the study are simply put, we just don't have a lot of information about it since it was so new. It's a very new disease, so our ability to test, understand, make interpretations, and thus figure out results are very limited. Hopefully with her amazing gift and incredible memory, scientists believe that she may be able to help us in the future, figure out the cure for bad memory, Alzheimer's, dementia, and many other brain disorders that we seem to accumulate as we get older. This is my works cited page if you would like to look up any more things about her, and there's also many other websites about her. Additionally, she wrote a book. So she's a very influential woman. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.